Hi, welcome back to Headbangers Ball, coming to you from the Institute in Birmingham with special guests Soundgarden, and Kim and Chris are back with me on the show. And in fact, we met Ben a little earlier. We won't actually be meeting up with Matt, the drummer, because unfortunately he's not too well, nothing serious, I heard.
No, he's just got a little boo-boo, nothing a Band-Aid can't help.
Boo-boo? What's that?
He fell down with boom.
Oh, right. Okay, well, if you're watching, Matt, get well soon from everybody.
It's
at
the usual
MTV.
excuse. He fell down the stairs.
He'll be okay for the gig tonight.
Yeah.
Cool.
Drummers, I shit him.
Now we're going to concentrate on your lyrics for the next few minutes, and it seems that you kind of have the ethic that less is more. And when I was talking to Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam, he said that one of the most satisfying aspects of Pearl Jam was hearing other people's interpretations of his songs, what they thought the songs meant.
Yeah.
Is that the same for you guys?
Well, I don't tend to really want to listen to other people's interpretations of them. I want other people to have interpretations of them, as long as they don't talk to me about them. So,
What, is that not sort of useful feedback?
well, no. I don't think of lyric writing in terms of feedback or, drawing ideas about what I do from somebody else. I think it just comes from me, and I don't want to say I don't care what somebody else thinks or how they feel about my lyrics. I just don't. I don't think it has anything to do with my lyrics. That's all.
Right. Fair enough.
Probably won't be influenced or swayed either way.
Right. Now, where does your inspiration come from? Is it from kind of reading books or personal experience or TV or?
It could be from any of those things. It could be from like something I'm reading or something somebody says or something I see on television, or just like none of the above, where I'm just like walking around, all of a sudden an idea just pops into my head. It's similar to music, I guess, in that you sort of will draw from anything that inspires you to write music as well as lyrics.
We're not really artists, we're actually vessels and agents of the fourth dimension, where this world exists and consists entirely of lyrics and music, and we're just a conductor for that.
Or funnel, maybe.
Okay. If I could highlight the song New Damage, is that a comment about America or the world in general?
The world in general.
Yeah, okay. And Holy Water, now is that about religion in particular, or is the message that people should not be dictated to and should make up their own minds how to live?
Yeah, the latter of what you just said is pretty much, that could pretty much sum that song up, really. It's a message that way, or if you want to take it as a personal thing, feeling that way when someone's ideas they'll try to put on my shoulders.
I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt that Bad Motorfinger addressed issues a little more subtly than the previous album. That the things you're saying.
Big Dumb Sex?
Well, they're not so obvious. The lyrics aren't so obvious. Maybe you have to read them a few times, and they're not so obvious in the points they're making. They're a little more subtle.
Yeah, I don't suppose I really thought about it in that way. I think lyrically there's some things on Bad Motorfinger that are definitely different than things I'd done previously, but in some ways I think maybe more straightforward, and then maybe actually less straightforward. So maybe there's more extreme one way and the other on that record.
And Kim, you made your debut as a lyricist on Room 1,000 Years Wide. You've heard this all before. Was the music the inspiration for that song,
definitely.
Or was it vice versa?
Yeah, it was the music.
Because Matt wrote the music in that instant, didn't he?
I liked it quite a bit, so I wanted to come up with lyrics for it.
There's kind of a religious connotation to that.
Well, that's really
song.
funny. You were talking about lyrics earlier and how people interpret them. We had some people coming up and saying, Room 1,000 Years Wide, that's about Satan, isn't it? And I said, let's see. Then you have other people come up and go, Room 1,000 Years Wide, that's about Jesus, isn't it? I said, well, yeah, okay. Jesus, Satan, it's about that.
I always thought it was Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, Ronald McDonald. Maybe other people come up and say, it's about Jesus and Satan, right? The left and the right hand.
And Kim would say, his typical response is, well, you're so vain, I bet you think this song is about you.
Right.
Well, I think we should let the listeners of the album make up their own minds on that one. Okay, we've got some more music on the way. I don't know if you've heard of this band called Antidote New York City. They're making their debut on Headbangers Ball. Another brand new video for you. These guys come from New York. They have a debut album out on April the 13th called Viva Los Pendejos. And this is the first single, and it's called Return to Burn.